In today's news, we will get student opinion on gun control laws and learn about a few fun places to visit off campus. We will also have an exclusive look at two Canisius entrepreneurs who run their own real estate business while going to school full-time. And as always, we will keep you updated on what has happened in sports this past week and some upcoming events happening on campus. This is Channel 19 News. Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning into Channel 19 News, your #1 source for news, campus events, and sports happening here at Canisius. I'm Robert Creenet. Here are your top stories for today. The Undergraduate Student Association tabled an amendment to its constitution that would create a new executive board position called the Vice President for Clubs. The vote was 9-8. The new executive board position, created by Executive Vice President Anthony Carosi, would serve as the Council of Presidents chair and the liaison between Senate and the COP advocating for clubs. The vote was moved to Tuesday, February 5th at the Council of Presidents meeting. We will update you during next week's show. American Idol winner Philip Phillips stopped by Canisius last Sunday for an hour-long concert in Montante Cultural Center. The event was sold out even though there were a few concerns that it would conflict with the men's basketball game against rival Niagara University. Phillips will now continue his college tour and will be touring with rock band Matchbox 20 afterwards. Gun control has been the subject of heavy debate lately, especially since the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting, where 26 people were fatally shot to death. It has even prompted President Barack Obama to take action on the issue. GriffinTV reporter Stephanie Aponte went out on the field to find out how Canisius College students feel on the issue of gun control.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Aponte reporting for GriffinTV. After the tragedy of the Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut, New York State has become the first state to pass new gun legislation laws. Under the bill, it has reduced the maximum number of rounds that a handgun is allowed to contain. It also has enforced stricter background checks. Let's get a closer look at what students are thinking about these recent issues. So what's your opinion on the recent laws about gun control?
I think it's far too strict. I don't think any government should go as far as to restrict an individual's right to defend himself or defend herself in any situation, regardless of how the government feels about how people should be treated. But I think it should be all based on the individual instead of the government.
So under the new laws, do you agree with the fact that they're enforcing a stricter policy on background checks and making sure that people are okay to basically have the guns?
Background checks, yes, but I think as far as the state's been going with limiting the actual firearm and the cartridges and the amount of rounds that one can have, I think that's a little too far.
Do you feel as though the teachers have responsibility to protect the children that they teach no matter what situation they're in?
Yeah, I do believe that, to a point. I mean, again, them carrying a weapon in school is something that's a little extreme. Just pretty much better, arming the police officers or just doors in the building to where, a gun probably won't be able to blow through it. You actually need a key is probably one of the better things to do.
My family doesn't really own guns, so I don't know a lot about the gun control laws, but I do believe that everyone has a right to own a gun, and I think that most guns people use for their own personal self-defense, and everyone has a right to that.
And what's your opinion on the Sandy Hook tragedy?
I think it was a horrible tragedy, but I honestly don't think that gun control laws are the answer or the solution to that, because those shooters are mentally insane and disturbed, and they have guns that they own illegally, so laws that ban guns aren't going to help them because they're just going to break them anyway. So I believe that gun controls are not exactly pointless, but not really appropriate because everyone has a right to carry a firearm with them.
Right. And do you feel as though schools should, be able to be armed and have protection against if anything like that were to happen?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's part of everyone's rights is to be able to defend themselves whenever necessary. And definitely for schools, have to take care of small children on a daily basis. So.
Do you feel like it's their duty on top of teaching to protect the kids no matter what?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think when a parent drops their kid off at school, they expect that, you know, people are going to be there to take care of them and ensure their safety. So absolutely, yes.
This is Stephanie Aponte reporting for GriffinTV.
Thanks, Stephanie. We are going to take a quick commercial break, but we will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
So much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite. Unearth hidden passion. Come on, have a good time. Planting seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic. To change the writing on the wall. Writing on the wall. One book can make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first to change a life.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
You're on your way to meet up with friends, but you can't seem to get anywhere quickly. You don't want your friends to be annoyed, so you text. You're on your way. Five seconds is the average time your eyes are off the road while texting while driving. Make sure you get where you're going.
Welcome back. During last week's show, we discussed how students felt about their Metro passes. For this week's show, we will show the places that you can visit with these passes. GriffinTV reporter Michael Magano has more information.
With donuts becoming a popular trend in food culture, popping up on dessert menus all over town, I thought it would be neat to focus on a hot spot just a stone's throw away from Canisius. Famous Donuts is a Buffalo favorite for when you have a craving for something sweet. They've been serving up these crowd-pleasing desserts since 1936, making them the oldest donut-specific establishment in Buffalo. It's located just up the street from Canisius at 3043 Main Street, and it couldn't be any easier to get to. Just hop on the subway and take it 2 stops outbound towards University Station and get off at the LaSalle Station. Famous Donuts is like a landmark immediately across the street from the station. Once you step out of the station onto Main Street, you can't miss it. As the name suggests, the donuts are famous for being some of the best bits of deep-fried, stuffed to the brim, glazed beyond belief dough around. With a wide selection of filled to fried, there is bound to be one to suit everyone's tastes. On my first trip there, I tried a chocolate-frosted cream-filled donut, my absolute favorite. These blow Timmy-Ho's out of the water, and at 80 cents a pop, your wallet can afford to have more than one. Here at Famous Donuts, this saying holds true. They really are cheaper by the dozen, or whatever quantity you crave. Be Roommate of the Year and bring a dozen back for your roommates. Famous Donuts also offers specials for fundraising too, so keep them in mind next time your club is tight on cash. Famous Donuts will absolutely not disappoint.
Thanks, Mike. Now we're going to head over to Kyle Ferrara and Mary Kessler in Studio B, who will let us know what happened in Griffin sports this week.
Thanks, Robert. It was an interesting weekend for the Golden Griffins. Let's take a look at what happened. Kyle, let's start out with basketball. Can you tell us what happened with the men's team?
Yeah, Mary, they played twice this weekend at the Kessler Athletic Center, winning both games. Thursday night, the Griffs faced Loyola, beating them 91-79. And Saturday night, the Griffs narrowly escaped with a win against Iona, 77-74.
Can you tell us some highlights about the Iona game?
Yeah, the victory against Iona puts Canisius at 15-8 overall, 8-4 in the MAC. All 5 starters scored in double digits. They're led by junior Billy Barron's 23 points. Senior Harold Washington and Isaac Sosa scored 13 and 12 points respectively, while Chris Manhertz, who we'll have on #GriffSports tomorrow, also scored 12 points and had a team-high 8 rebounds. Last but not least, junior Jordan Heath made 10 points and 7 boards.
Well, congratulations to the men's basketball team. They played their last 3 games at home. Starting February 7th, they will be on the road for their next 5 games, beginning with Manhattan on Thursday and including rematches against Loyola and Niagara, and also their ESPN Bracket Buster game against Vermont. Now, let's move on to women's basketball. Kyle, what can you tell us about their weekend?
Well, the women's weekend didn't turn out quite as well as it did for the men. They lost Friday night against Marist by a score of 54-40, and then again to Manhattan on Sunday afternoon, 54-51. The Griffins now stand at 8-13 overall, 5-5 in MAC play. The team was able to overcome a 13-point deficit on the scoreboard versus Manhattan, but weren't able to make that full comeback. Junior Jamie Ruddle led the Golden Griffins, scoring 13 points, and she also had 9 rebounds. She was followed by Kayla Ho'ohuli, who scored 9 points. Senior Ashley Durham and junior Jen Morabito scored 8 points each. The next 2 games for the Golden Griffin women are at home against Loyola and St. Peter's, so be sure to show your support. Now, Mary, what happened in hockey this weekend?
Well, Kyle, the Golden Griffins men's hockey team had a doubleheader versus Holy Cross on Saturday and Sunday afternoon at Buff State. You know, Holy Cross is actually my father's alma mater, and we were supposed to go to the game on Saturday. Unfortunately, something came up and we weren't able to attend. But I was able to rub it into my dad's face that the Griffins beat the Holy Cross on Saturday with a shutout 3-0. But Sunday, my dad could rub it back into my face that the Griffs lost to Holy Cross with a score of 1-5. The Griffs are now 10-13-5 for their season and 9-8-2 in their conference play after Sunday's game. Kyle Gibbons scored the only goal of that game. Tony Capobianco seemed to be the star of Saturday afternoon's game, as it was his 2nd shutout of the season and 3rd of his entire career at Canisius. He recorded 23 saves in the 3-0 victory. Junior Kyle Gibbons scored 2 goals, and senior Preston Shoup scored 1 goal.
Let's hope they have more consistency this upcoming weekend as they take on Niagara twice. Off the ice and into the water, our own Alex Bailman has a preview of this year's edition of the Golden Griffin synchronized swimming team.
The Canisius College women's synchronized swimming team has opened this season with a splash. The team opened the season by beating last year's national runner-up, University of the Incarnate Word. In Week 2, they beat both Wheaton College and Penn State in the Canisius Invitational. This success is nothing new for the team, however, as it has won 15 straight ECAC conference titles in synchronized swimming. The goal this season, according to head coach Jill Wright, is not only to make it 16 straight ECAC titles, but also to put on a strong showing at the national competition.
We're going to be heading out to California for collegiate nationals around the end of March, and we're expecting to pull out really good swims. It's going to be a really high level of competition because the entire Olympic team, they're all back at their respective schools, so the level of competition should be really high. We have nationals on the mind from day one, I would say. Once every meet comes, we'll focus on that meet. Probably like the week before, we'll really focus on getting everything cleaned up for that meet, but the main goal, our main focus is nationals. The routine is judged artistically and technically. When looked at artistically, it's how you interpret the music, the choreography, how well you present it to the judges, how well you perform it. And if you look at it technically, it's how high you are out of the water, how matched and synchronized you are, how matched you are to the music, the level of difficulty that your routine is, and things like that. We work hard in all of our routines, but I think personally my favorite this year is our team routine. It's rock and roll. We all really love to swim it. It's challenging, but it's fun at the same time, and I think that it already did get a really good response from the judges we've seen so far, and several of them were national judges that we will see in later competition.
The team will travel to Norton, Massachusetts this weekend to participate in the Wheaton Invitational before heading to the ECAC Championships in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 2 weeks. Reporting for Griffin TV, this has been Alex Spielman.
The Golden Griff synchronized swimming team continued their good start as they hosted Penn State and Wheaton in the Kessler Athletic Center pool on Saturday afternoon. The Griffins placed first in the Canisius Invitational with 87 points.
The Golden Griffin softball got their season underway on February 16th. Junior pitcher Jen Consul was named to the 2013 preseason All-MAC team. Her stats from last year are on the screen. She went 9-10 with an ERA of 2.86. She was the only Canisius player to receive All-MAC honors. And the Griffs as a team were picked in tie for third in the annual coaches poll.
And Griffs baseball is also close to getting started. They opened their season on February the 15th. Junior pitcher Garrett Courtwright was selected to the preseason All-MAC team. Last year he pitched in 16 games, 14 starts, finishing with a record of 6-6 and a 3.5 ERA. He was second in the conference with 76 strikeouts, and he's earned MAC honors for the second consecutive year now. Griffs baseball was picked second in the Coaches Bowl.
And that's all we have for you today. Be sure to tune in to #GriffSports Thursday at 6 p.m. to hear Brandon Rudd and Cal Ferrara here go more in depth on the Golden Griffins.
In the meantime, follow us on Twitter at GriffSports_19. Back to you, Robert.
Thanks, Cal and Mary. We're going to take another quick commercial break, but we'll be right back after these messages. Stay tuned.
Hey, I'm Anderson Cooper. As a parent, you want to make sure that your child knows how to deal with bullying when they see it happening. And chances are they want to help, but they don't really know how. I'll teach them that the best thing to do is calmly walk away, find a teacher or other adult, and speak up. And do your part. Be that adult they can talk to and trust will listen. Join me to help stop bullying. Go to stopbullying.gov to find out more.
Thanks for tuning in to Channel 19 News. As many people know, the job market is a lot smaller than what it used to be. It might seem daunting for current undergraduate students. However, two of our very own Canisius College students decided to take matters into their own hands and start their own real estate business. Here's Griffin TV reporter Katie Smith with more on the story.
So I got down there and I walked up the driveway and the guy's like, "Who are you?" I said, "I'm Alex Severin." I said, "We just spoke on the phone." He's like, "What?" I said, "I'm the owner of the property." I said, "I understand I have a problem here." And he's like, "How old are you?" I said, "Does that matter?" He's like, "Really, how old are you?" I said, "I'm 21. He's like, "Where were you?" I said, "I was in school." Good evening, my name is Alex Severin. I'm co-owner of Ambitious Enterprises Incorporated, and I am the acquisitions manager for our company.
I'm William Severin. I'm also co-owner of Ambitious Enterprises Incorporated, and I'm the Director of Private Financing for our projects.
Canisius College seniors Alex and Will Severin discuss how they manage their own company while remaining full-time students.
This semester was tough. Obviously, this was our 8-week project. We had started this September 1st.
Yeah.
We go to school Tuesday, Thursday from 10 in the morning until 7 o'clock at night. I have sculpture. And we go to work Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
We would work 5 days a week and go to school 2 days a week.
The two are local real estate investors who utilize private funds to rehab properties and revitalize communities.
We've been rehabbing houses for a couple of years, but for other people. We worked closely with Hunt Real Estate so that when someone's house wasn't selling, we were hired to come in, assess the reasons why it wasn't selling, and then come in and rehab the house.
At the age of 14, they had to apply for special working papers in order to use the equipment required for landscaping. Just 3 years later, they began their own landscaping business and were self-employed by 17.
The twins, the boys, people just say the boys are doing this. Everyone knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
They know it's us because we've been the boys since we were 14 years old.
While the schedule may seem daunting to any other full-time student, the two love what they do and believe this is what they will be doing for the rest of their lives.
We've been working for ourselves for so many years now, I don't even know if it's possible.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can work for somebody else. I really don't. I can work with somebody. Our goal is to be able to pay off our school loans at the second day after we graduate and not apply for a job.
They don't know if their young age has anything to do with their success, other than the fact they have no fear when it comes to taking risks.
We could graduate without a job and no money, and we'd be almost like everybody else.
And that's just how our minds are set now, and it's not settle into a job and work and then go home. For us, it never stops.
Even if we have a home office and we say, okay, at 8 o'clock everything shuts down, we're still going to be sitting around with gin and tonic and talking about business.
Between work and school, the two are virtually together 24/7, and it's comforting to hear they still know how to push each other's buttons.
I know exactly what to say to him to make him mad, and he knows exactly what to do to me to make me mad.
It would never slow down anything that we do.
It never slowed down anything, and we never go to sleep mad at each other. An old married couple.
We know it doesn't make us money, so
yeah.
it's not helpful.
Their enthusiasm is contagious, and we're excited to see what the future will hold for the two entrepreneurs.
Well, you can come back in a few years. We'll do another one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Katie. Now we're going to take a look at some upcoming events that are happening on campus. L.Z. Granderson is an American journalist and commentator for CNN and ESPN. He'll be visiting Canisius College to speak about issues such as race and sexual orientation. This event will be hosted by Unity and will take place on Thursday, February 28th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. in the Montante Cultural Center. This event is free and open to the public. Be an admissions host. Sunday and Wednesday nights throughout the semester, prospective students are looking to stay overnight in Bosch, Frisch, and Dugan halls. Students will be provided with dinner passes, tickets to events, and prizes at the end of the year. If you and your roommate are interested in hosting an overnight student, contact Phil Cisalia at 888-2214 for more information. Sigma Phi Epsilon and Campus Programming and Leadership Development will sponsor a Griffin's After Dark program called the Ultimate Obstacle Course. This event will take place on Saturday, February 9th in Polisano Pavilion from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. An inflatable obstacle course will be set up, and as usual, there will be free food. The Best of Buffalo series, in conjunction with the Canisius Office of Marketing and Communications, along with the Buffalo Sabres, is happy to present the Canisius College Student Surge. Any full-time undergraduate student or full-time graduate student is eligible to purchase one ticket to most home games. All tickets are $25 and are located in the Canisius College Student Surge section at the First Niagara Center. Transportation is not included. That's all we have for you today, Canisius. Make sure you check us out on Facebook and YouTube. We air a new show on Channel 19 every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Thank you for tuning in.